श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नमो वसिष्ठाय महाव्रताय पराशरं वेदनिधिं नमस्ये। नमोऽस्त्वनन्ताय महोरगाय नमोऽस्तु सिद्धेभ्य इहाक्षयेभ्यः नमोऽस्तु ऋषिभ्यः परमं परेशां देवेषु देवं वरदं वराणां सहस्रशीर्षाय नमः शिवाय सहस्रनामाय जनार्दनाय। The method of Mahabharata study was discussed in the last year March when we started Shanti Parva. This is the biggest one in the world, and we noticed that the great Mahatmas gave us the method of study of Mahabharata. They told us to start with Shanti Parva, as it has been the great tradition of, or among the knowers of the Mahabharata, those who give talks on them, they emphasized that it has to be started with Shanti Parva. We saw some extent the logic why we had to start with Shanti Parva in the past, which I am not going to repeat, as it is all those things. So we had started with Shanti Parva, the war was over, the ceremony was performed, the Tarpana was given by Yudhishthira. That time he was unhappy and he collapsed, and later on he was taken to Bhishmacharya ji for teachings, and Bhishmacharya gave teachings. Shanti Parva, entire teaching, as well as Anushasana Parva, comprises the teachings of Bhishmacharya, and the teachings of Bhishmacharya to Yudhishthira after the battle comprises almost 26% of Mahabharata. That is 26,000 shlokas and odd are nothing but the teachings of Bhishmacharya. So we saw that Shanti Parva, which gave us in-depth analysis of the Rajadharma Parva, Apadharma Parva and Moksha Dharma Parva. We studied the leadership qualities, the people how they are divided, classified into different groups, why is it so, how the society has to work and how the mankind can flourish, what are the rules laid down by the Creator for the mankind, how to combat the enemies, how to protect the people, how to rule the people, social administration, sociology, public administration, leadership qualities, army, securing or security for the country, and all those subjects are covered exhaustively in Rajadharma Parva, which is a part of Shanti Parva. Then we also studied very exhaustively the Apadharma Parva, wherein it was told, in case of emergencies, certain situations, certain critical situations of life, how far we can deviate and how to behave, how to protect ourselves, the country, the society, the people. In those situations, they were exhaustively explained in Apadharma Parva, Apatkala, in adversities, during adversities. We have seen again afterwards very wonderful, exhaustive, so beautiful, the very essence of Upanishads in Moksha Dharma Parva, exhaustively dealt. And we also saw thereafter Anushasana Parva, the instructions wherein we came across Shiva Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, all those wonderful teachings came. And after Anushasana Parva, Bhishmacharya ji left this world and went to his abode. It's called Bhishma Sargarohana Parva. Then we saw Ashwamedhika Parva, how Yudhishthira performed Ashwamedha Yajna. Then afterwards Ashrama Vasika Parva we saw how Dhritarashtra had gone to the forest after 15 years of stay in the palace, and what are the circumstances which led him to go, and how Kunti also followed them, how these three, Kunti, Gandhari and Dhritarashtra, left their bodies. All those things we saw in Ashrama Vasika Parva. Then subsequently we saw Mausala Parva, the scene shifted to Dwaraka, where the Pandavas, about 5 lakh Yadava Veeras were they mutually killed themselves, each will fight each other, mutually fighting each other, and how Bhagavan Krishna played a role, how the Dwaraka was drowned. It's in history now, nothing to talk about it. How it was drowned, all those things we saw in Mausala Parva. And afterwards we came to Mahaprasthana and Swargarohana Parva. In Mahaprasthana, their movement, then Swargarohana, how they went to heaven, and how ultimately Vyasa Bhagavan says in the last part of the Mahabharata, they attained their own Prakriti. It was told, and we have seen exhaustively. So they merged back into their own sources. And ultimately, even Duryodhana also was reached heaven. And thus it was said, a lot of sins have been washed away on the earth. And the Mahabharata was glorified in the end by Sauti. Sauti is Ugrashrava Muni. Now, when we are going to start now, when we start today, Adi Parva, for us, the Adi Parva onwards, that is Adi Parva, Sabha Parva, Aranya Parva, and then Virata Parva, Udyoga Parva, Bhishma Parva, then Drona Parva, Karna Parva, Shalya Parva, Sauptika Parva, Stri Parva, all those Parvas, which we are yet to study in depth. Wonderful teachings are there, stories are there. To us, those who have heard from Shanti Parva to Swargarohana Parva, those all of us, for all of us, it is now a flashback. Think. It is not that we are going through the Mahabharata right now, carrying all those negative emotions in our hearts as we proceed further and further, because the more and more vengeance, hatred, injustice surfaces as we enter into these parvas. And sometimes they definitely, because of continuously exposed to this kind of crookedness, the evil games, strategies, when we go through this, our mind also likely to be polluted with an attitude of some kind of nirviryata or some kind of indifference might be grown in our hearts, stating that what is this all nonsense? ये ऐसे ही है. This world is like this only. Nothing can be proved. And therefore, when we study with this attitude right now, and anxiously waiting, and we also develop vengeance and hatred, so we go through all the pain of Pandavas and Kauravas, all the pain that which they underwent, we go through. Now, since we have studied from Shanti Parva to Swargarohana Parva, we have settled them there in their own higher abodes. They are all happy now. It is for us now a flashback where, with a popcorn packet in our hand, we can enjoy the story without being carried away by the influences or carried away by the thoughts of, the negative thoughts of the Mahabharata story. Did you understand? So we are not going through it now. It is for us a flashback. So now, what had happened? Ultimately, we know everybody was happy now. Everybody attained Swarga, they played their role, everybody was liberated, and they are all reveling in higher planes. We have seen after reaching Swarga, there was no hatred, there is no love. Even when Putra Darshana Parva, when Vyasa Bhagavan had brought all the people again, materialized them, there was no vengeance and hatred. Everybody met very lovingly on the banks of Ganges. Do you remember? And do you remember how Dhritarashtra turned out to be a great Mahayogi himself, a great meditator? And through yoga he left his body. You have seen how much love was hurled by Yudhishthira towards his own uncle, that is Dhritarashtra, how much he loved him, in spite of knowing very well the fact that he was the main cause for everything, yet Yudhishthira loved him unconditionally. And you know how much Dhritarashtra also loved Pandavas. So the ultimate end was so wonderful. But when we go through these human emotions, in our life also, when we go through the certain difficulties in life, in relationships, suddenly we create enemies. And over a period of time, when you become matured, you would grow in your heart magnanimity to forgive the mistakes of the others, is it not? Think. Your own maybe son loved a girl and married against your wishes. That time you were in fire, threatened him, not a single paisa will be given. He was also unhappy with you. You were also unhappy with him. You kicked him out of the house. It's only after 10 years or 15 years when your emotions have become cool and quiet and calm, when you become old, when you joined Chinmaya Mission, when you studied some of the textbooks, it is you understand that it is all tamasha, nothing is permanent, no permanent enemy, no permanent friend, it's all his game. After all, everybody is caught up in their own pravritti and prakriti. Everybody is struggling to release themselves from the bondage of their vasanas. It is we, I should love them. Doesn't matter, beta, ajao. That is a thing. Yes or no? Think. So a wise person, when we go through these problems and difficulties, because the basic nature of human being is to be good, we cannot hold negative emotions for a long time. It is not our true position. It is not our true nature. In nature, everything reverts back to its own nature, its own original state. You heat the temperature with water, the nature of the water is to cool down. Even though you hate it, after some time, it again comes back to its own original state. Think. So we also, the original state of our personality is peace, calm and quiet and pure consciousness. Whether you are Duryodhana, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, or Bhagavan Ramachandra or Krishna, essentially we are divine. But we need to go through certain emotion, certain painful procedure. During chiseling, the sculptor chisels the stone to bring out a beautiful form. The stone goes through every step, for every hammering, it goes through a tremendous and terrible pain. Think. Did you hear the story of a very compassionate man? Very compassionate man. He saw in one of the small trees or whatever it is, wherever place you say, that butterfly is struggling, which is caught up in its own hole, tiny hole, trying to come out, not completely unfolded became butterfly, but yet becoming butterfly, flapping its wings, struggling and squeezing and struggling and squeezing out through this tiny hole, the pore to come out. And this compassionate man took a small blade and cut the outer hole or shell, and the butterfly was released, but it was flapping its wings on the ground and never could transform itself into a butterfly. It is then he realized that it was necessary for that pain to occur, to be experienced for that particular insect, in order to complete its procedure and become a totally beautiful, unfolded, well-developed, winged butterfly. So that is the reason why when we also go through the troubles, it's that we are struggling through that. So if we are easily released from the pain, we also don't grow. We come out, but we will not be able to position ourselves, and we will not be able to fly, we will not be able to do anything. Think. Unwinged butterfly. There is no wings at all, not grown. Think. So it is when the seeker, a spiritual seeker, understands that it is necessary for us to go through certain pain in order to purify ourselves, and in the end it is all nothing but the pure love and pure, everything becomes merged back again into Brahman, from where it has come forth. This wisdom, when it is dawned, then there is no enmity. Therefore, it is precisely for this reason that we had studied from Shanti Parva to Swargarohana. How many Parvas we completed so far? 7. And 33 to 34% of Mahabharata we have completed. Nearly 33%, 33 point something. Exactly 1/3 of Mahabharata we have studied. Take it as granted, for granted. 1/3 of Mahabharata we studied. 2/3 is there. So let us now go through the flashback. What had happened? How the story begins? What does this Mahabharata is all about? It is not that you visualize only the Kauravas, Pandavas vengeance. Kauravas looted the Pandavas, and Pandavas took support of kingdom of Pandavas was looted by Kauravas. Pandavas supported by Krishna. They fought each other. They killed everybody. They got their kingdom back. That is the story. No. The human emotions are wonderfully painted. Difficulties are pointed out. The final goal is pointed out. Struggles are pointed out. blessings are pointed out, dharma is pointed out, adharma is pointed out in this Mahabharata. So what is this and how it has started with? Let us start again together. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim tato jayamudirayet. So having prostrated to Narayana, along with Naranarayana, Arjuna and Krishna, Naranarayana, plus Saraswati, because it is Vidya, Swarupini, and also Vyasa Bhagavan, Tato Jayam Udirayet. Afterwards, Tataha thereafter, Jayam. Jayam means victory. Why it is called victory? Victory of good over the evil. I was just reading just a couple of days back a beautiful, a small story-like story. A grandfather and a grandson. A grandfather is there in the house. He always keeps on telling every day, be careful, there are two wolves in all of us. Two wolves are there. One is positive, other is negative. One is good, other is bad. Beware, beware, beware. He was repeating every day, almost to everybody of his family members. One day, his grandson, 7-year-old, 6-year-old grandson, who has understood what is wolf by seeing a picture. But he was not happy with the constant fight going on inside. One day, he's sitting in the lap of grandfather, he asked, Dadaji, you say there are optimistic or good wolf and bad wolf, both of them fight each other. Tell me who will win? Who will win? Who wins among these two? And a wonderful reply gave by grandfather. You want to know? He says, dear son, grandson, beta, the whom you feed, he will win. किसी को खाना खिला के मोटा बना दो एक वुल्फ को, वो दूसरा को खा जाती है. The one whom you feed will win, he said. The one whom you feed. What a wonderful one. So whom we feed is in your hands. But both are there. Thus Pandavas were feeding always positive wolf, positive one. And the Kauravas, the Duryodhana, Adityadi, they were feeding the negative one. So in their case, negative ate the positive. In this case, positive ate the negative. And they became victorious. The one whom you feed will win, beta, he said. So, here the prayer starts. We just remember all of them. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Pitamahaya. Om Namah Prajapatibhyah. Om Namah Krishna Dvaipayanaya. Om Namah Sarva Vigna Vinayakebhyah. Let's just pray. So it's the Narayanam, Namaskritya, Pitamahaya, Brahma. Everybody, Namah Prajapatibhyah, Namah Krishna Dvaipayanaya, Namah Sarva Vigna Vinayakebhyah is the second sloka of Mahabharata. The story begins. What happened? Vyasa Bhagavan had 4 disciples we saw, Paila, Jaimani, Vaishampayana, Romaharshana, etc. He is also called Lomaharshana or Romaharshana, both are same. And Romaharshana, other name is Suta Bhagavan, Suta. Some of the Puranas he was a Karta. Here, Sauti, that is son of Romaharshana, is Ugrashrava. His name is Ugrashravas. Son of Romaharshana is Ugrashrava. Ugrashrava was one day what happening? He was just touring and one day he happened to visit Naimisharanya, near Lucknow, Naimisharanya, where Shaunaka, Kulapati is called Kulapati, Shaunaka, with 88,000 rishis at that time they used to perform Yajna Yagadi karmas. Saunaka was performing this yajna, and all 88,000, all people were there, Rishis, Munis were there. That time, Ugrashravas walked into that congregation when he was performing 12-year yajna. 12 वर्ष का बड़ा यज्ञ कर रहे थे. As he, Ugrashrava, walked into that assembly, naturally all the Munis, they were very happy. They received him with full honors. And they showed him a seat to Ugrashrava's Sauti. Sauti means son of Suta. Ugrashrava Sauti. Ugrashravasa Sauti, we can say. He was shown a seat and he seated there. So Ugrashrava also sat there and asked certain questions. आप लोग कैसे हैं? How is the tapas going on well? I'm very happy to see you. And he said, you are all now having completed your morning daily routine work of your yajna, anushthan, etc. You are looking so comfortable, bright. Brahmavarchas is coming out, peeping out through all your personalities. I'm so happy to see you. करके आप लोग कैसे कुशल है ना, आपका साधना ठीक से चल रहा है ना करके पूछे. And they all replied, they were very happy, but they said, sir, you tell me, where are you coming from? आप कहाँ से पधारे हैं अभी, वो सौती महाराज? And where have you been spending time till now so comfortably and happily? You are so cheerful and looking cheerful. आप कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, ये तो बताइए. Ugrashrava Sauti said, no, I was actually coming from a pilgrim tour. Now, just now, I was coming from where? I heard these most wonderful stories composed by Vyasa Bhagavan, Puranas, Mahabharata, etc., by Krishnadvaipayana. And what all was composed by Vyasa Bhagavan was recited, was told by Vaishampayana to King Janamejeya during his Sarpa Yajna, Sarpa Yaga. You know, Sarpa Yaga, Bhagavat refers to that. He got angry, so he continued the Sarpa, all Sarpa Jati was. I asked a great master, what is the meaning of this Sarpa Yajna? He said, Sarpa Yajna only, he said. Meaning what? He gave one wonderful, the Mahayogis, they said that it is not symbolic. In that time, I believe, snake population was more than human population. And snakes used to wander here and there on the road. Suppose you are going and snakes also are going. It became difficult for people to live. The presiding deity over Sarpa Jati is there, no? He is the one who is allowing the Sarpa Jati to grow. And that time, to catch all the snakes and pakad ke, that is not the method there. In those days, I told you in the beginning one of the things, it was a mantra yuga, I told. You forgot? I told that time mantra was technology. The mantra had that power. So when they uttered mantra, so through mantra only, they used to achieve whatever they want to achieve. Mantra was the only means available. And everybody were pure. So mantra yuga means there at that time, because you cannot understand, times are so changed. Just as 500 years back, population can never imagine a mic and aeroplane and a radio and a mobile phone, etc. The times are totally changed. Yugas are within yuga, yuga mein yuga. Not that technology has developed for the first time. It was also developed in the past, but in cycles. Not that first time you got a mobile phone. It was there. But in long cycle and cycles of evolution, when the time is running, you know. So in the chakra, Kala chakra, some things are repeated. So the mantra yuga was there. So you can't understand, but only you have to have trust and faith. Down the line, after 1,000 years, when earth is sufficiently destroyed by the mankind, maybe again science and technology may not work. They may be thinking only how to get water, how to eat, how to agriculture, cultivate, because what the science has given us, and technology had given us, at least the basic things are going away. Man is becoming complicated. So we may have to shift from science and technology again back to the basic needs and address the basic issues of humanity. It's not now, it is heading towards that. So that was Mantra Yuga. So this Janamejeya, as a king, he was accountable and responsible to protect the citizens. And he knew the cause also, the subtle cause behind. The Sarpajati, the presiding deities, the heroes or the leaders of the Sarpajati are doing all this. So the only way is to release them, to give them liberation by bringing them through their mantra and giving them ahuti to Agni. No doubt they are sacrificed, but they are sent to higher abodes. That was a technology, that was a science, and at that time it is difficult for us to visualize, but that is a fact. So when Sarpajati, one Jati's name is uttered, when Sarpa's name is uttered, all those snakes used to come automatically and fall in that Yajnakunda. Because why the Sarpa, so many Sarpas, dead Sarpas were there and all, because Sarpajati was there. Because of that Sarpajati population only Parikshit had seen dead skin there, so dead snake there. Itne pade hai kya snake? Saap. So he understood that the problem is only because of snake was there. Why snakes were there? So much the population is there. I think I must do something. And so that triggered that thinking in him. So after killing so many Sarpas, when it is going to be wiped out, he was stopped. He said, don't wipe the Jati. Jati should not be wiped. Let them alone, because some souls are there, some jivas are there, to whom, to exhaust their kind of vasanas, this kind of upadhi is necessary. It is not that they are naturally extinct. You are applying your willpower and you are trying to do something. Creating an extinction of some race altogether, some jati altogether, some species altogether. That is not allowed. So he was asked to stop in the end, sparing some of the Sarpa jatis. Let them survive, but don't bring total destruction. Or getting a point? So during that Sarpa jati, the Sarpa yajna, the Vaishampayana used to ask questions whenever there was a break in Havana, in Homa Karma. That time, Vaishampayana taught Janamejeya the entire Purana stories, Mahabharata, etc. So Ugrasrava was telling to these Mahamunis in Naimisharanya that I am coming from that Sarpa Yajna, it was completed, and I am coming from there, having heard, after hearing the stories of Mahabharata and Mahabharata, stories of other Puranas plus Mahabharata in detail, when Vaishampayana was telling to Janamejeya, and I heard whole Mahabharata there. And after hearing that Mahabharata, I went on pilgrimage, and thereafterwards I went to Kurukshetra. There I saw the Kurukshetra where the Pandavas and Kauravas had a big fight, fought each other. That place I have seen. After seeing that place, I had a desire to meet you all. I knew that this Mahayajna is going on, and therefore I came here to meet you. And there I am. And he said, you are all very blessed. Ugrasarva says to all of them, you are all blessed. And now tell me, what is it you want to hear from me? Because Suta Muni, Romaharshana, has mastered the Puranas. Because Puranas are very deep, mystical meanings. And Mahabharata also is like that. We'll see the story now. So, when the question was asked, please, would you like to listen from me the stories of Puranas, from Puranas, or you want to listen to me, from me, the stories of Maharushis in the past? What is that you want to listen from me? Please tell me, I am ready to tell you. Like Baliviyar Sevaka or Sevika goes there and asks children, which story you want? Come on, tell me. I will tell you. Or you want a joke or a riddle. Once it was told this way, then the Rishis said, Maharaj, we wanted to listen. What? This Mahabharata. How they told? That Purana, that great epic which was given first by Rishi Dvaipayana, and that which was very highly regarded and highly esteemed by both the Devatas and Brahmarshis, that epic, that is called Mahabharata, and that which was most eminent narrative, most beautiful narrative. It is impossible almost to such kind of to give out such kind of a narration. And that most eminent narration, that which exists in the creation today, and that which is full of subtle meanings, sukshma arthas are there, difficult to open the riddles and understand them. That which is subtle meanings, and that which is logically explained and fully combined, logically combined, and that which exposes the meaning of the Vedas, and that composition which was composed in most eloquent language, and that which is including the subjects of other books also, such as Puranas, etc., other various textbooks, other important subjects in the world, that book which is included in, which includes all this, and we are desirous of that story called Bharata, that is Mahabharata, the holy composition, having heard which, that which dispels the fear in everybody, and fear of evil is dispersed once for all. Having listened to Mahabharata, we would like to listen that Mahabharata from you. Sauti said, Sauti means Ugrashravas. Who is Ugrashrava? Son of Romaharshana. Who is Romaharshana? Disciple of Vyasa Bhagavan, who had mastered all the, Vyasa mastered all the Puranas. Suta Muni. What is Puranas? I told you all those things. Puranas simply understand, speaks about the history of cosmos, full stop. History of entire happenings, events, incidents which happened in the creation, not only in this loka, but also in any other lokas also. All those things are recorded, and that is called Purana. It is full of mysticism. Language is mystical. Some places it is symbolical, and some places it is mystical. Some places it is so sacred and hidden, and some places it is direct. Some places it is educative. Some places it is instructive. Such kind of Purana. He was the master. So, Sauti said, I shall now narrate this Mahabharata to you all, and first let me prostrate to Lord Mahavishnu, the all-pervading Vishnu. Here I am, I prostrate to Bhagavan Vishnu. Because Sarva Vyapi Vyapnoha, Vyapnoti. Vishnu is, he is the one who is all-pervading. So that Vishnu, I prostrate. And also, I touch my head at the feet of Vedavyasa Maharshi, who composed this great epic called Mahabharata. So it was not a fiction, it was a recorded history. Right? In some places, the language was symbolic. Most of the places, it is mystical, hidden. The outer meaning is different, inner meaning is different. So, now, after this, Sauti, the Ugrashrava, started explaining the entire creation from Hiranyagarbha. I am not going to tell you all that. How the Hiranyagarbha onwards, it was all explained by Sauti. Afterwards, he says, in this Mahabharata, Sauti says, he is introducing Mahabharata to us. The Mahabharata is, this is a threefold mystery of Vedas, Yoga, Vijnana Dharma, Artha and Karma, all also, and various books and various subjects with roles of conduct, code of conduct for mankind, histories, discourses with various Shrutis, all of which have been beautifully combined and brought out together by the great Rishi called Vyasa Bhagavan, Vyasa Rishi, Krishna Dvaipayana Rishi. So all these things are contained in Mahabharata. All these things are wonderfully brought out by Bhagavan Vyasa. And Sauti says now, these men of learning, the great Pandits, What do? They display, always they display their knowledge, commenting on different scriptures, etc., compositions, in the form of composition they bring out. And some people in Mahabharata, who read Mahabharata, they are so skillful in explaining it. He says, Mahabharata, such an epic, there are some Mahatmas in the world who are very skillful in explaining the Mahabharata, with the intricate meanings brought out splendidly, clearly to the people, to the listeners. There one such kind of skillful teachers are there who are capable of teaching Mahabharata in the light of science and technology, in the light of truth, in the light of deeper understanding. Who says? Southi says. And again he says, while others, many others are there, they are very good in remembering its contents, its agenda, its chapter after chapter. This is the Mahabharata. And it is said here that Sauti says, after writing this Mahabharata, Vyasa Bhagavan was wondering how to teach his disciples. Now see, listen friends, carefully. First, writing even, he did not write on paper. First, everything was grasped, arranged, script was ready, how to present it, what had exactly happened. In the mind of Vyasa Bhagavan, the print, the disc is complete. It has to be print out. Print out has to be taken out. It is there in hard disk, well programmed, typed, everything in hard disk, but not taken out as a printout. Having composed entire Mahabharata, Vyasa Bhagavan started thinking how to teach this to disciples. There is another worry. A teacher gets so wonderful ideas. How to convey that idea to the disciples and devotees is the biggest challenge, and this is a constant worry of every teacher. At every level. Think. You know 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, but how to teach the child is the biggest problem. Many learning aids were discovered, is it not? You bring 1 and 1, 2, and then so much of difficulty to make them understand. And to teach numbers, first of all, to children, what is 1, what is 2, how difficult it is. Think. So every teacher at every level, this worry is there, how to translate or transform or teach that knowledge which he had grasped or gained, how to present it is the biggest problem. So Vyasa also was worrying how to teach this to disciples. Who sells all this thing? Who's telling us? Sauti is telling. Two rishis there. Then afterwards, knowing this desire in him, he was deeply worried also. And when the desire is so strong, in Vyasa Bhagavan was deeply worried, thinking how to teach this, how to bring it out, and what is the composition was ready, how to bring it out, how to teach, how to make it available to public. As soon as he was, as he thought like that, Lord Brahma, Swayam Brahmaji, came to his ashram, appeared in front of him. When Lord Brahma appeared in front of Vyasa Bhagavan surrounded by disciples, he was so amazed, surprised, wondered, pleased, of course. So suddenly like a blessing, suddenly Swayam Brahmaji padhare. And immediately Vyasa Bhagavan got up and did parikrama to Brahmaji, and he gave a asan to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji seated in the asan, and here it is written, Vyasa Bhagavan sat at his feet, near to him, sat down. And Vyasa Bhagavan says to Brahmaji. And Vyasa Bhagavan was so full of joy within that Swayam, the Creator, had come in form and gave him darshan, to talk to him. Then Vyasa Bhagavan said, O Brahmaji, I composed a great epic. Composed means in the mind only. Conceived. Script is ready. A great epic called Mahabharata. He didn't name it, of course, a great epic. which is greatly respected, of course, it will be respected. The mystery of Vedas, and also many other subjects like Upavedas, Dharmashastras, mystery of those things. All these things have been explained by me in that composition which I thought. Now, not only the essence of Vedic rituals are there, but also the essence of the Upanishads also is mentioned in that Mahabharata, which I have thought of it. Now, this compilation consists of the essence of Puranas. It also gives the history of the past, history of the present, and also the future. Bhavishya Purana also he wrote. And Bhavishya Parva also is there. Afterwards will come, Bhavishya Purana is there. He speaks about Bhavishya, future. All those things are hidden in this. And rules and codes of conduct for the four Varnas, import or essence of all the Puranas, duties pertaining to all ashramas, and the dimensions of the sun, the moon, and the planets, astrology. What do you call astronomy? Dimensions of those things, planets, constellations, stars are all given, and it's included in this my composition, what I thought of it. I put everything inside. And all the duties of all ashramas also are given. Adhyatma Shastra, Nyaya, Ayurveda, Dana, and Devatas Janma, Manushya Janma. For what karana they take birth? What is the role of humanity in creation? Did you hear me? What is the role of humanity in creation? We are too occupied with our own selfish agenda. But as a humanity, there is a big role to play. Did I tell you the story of dodo birds? Dodo birds, I told you. Once upon a time, when you attended, when I attended, once upon a time. There's a story called, shall I tell again? Please, I pray to God that you keep forgetting so that I can get my bhiksha. Otherwise, you remember and I will not get my food also. Swamiji, you will know everything, what is in your brain, it is all transferred to us. Now you can leave Noida. So you should not, that should not happen. So I am selfish. Please forget. Suddenly they found like Kerala is very popular for coconut trees. There are certain types of trees, which I forgot the name of the tree, in Mauritius island, there, in the Mauritius side and Reunion side, Mauritius side. And they found that those trees are slowly disappearing, which are so important for livelihood, and then commonly used as a coconut tree is used in Kerala, or in India at least, in general. They found out that why this is missing, and then they traced back that 200-300 years back, when the French soldiers that visited that Mauritius, out of hobby or just like a fun, they started shooting, practicing shooting, and killed all dodo birds. Now remember? The hard disk is functioning. Only RAM was not there. Hard disk में content है, but RAM is not there. That's why data is not accessed. Should I continue or stop here? Then what happened? Then they discovered, why? Because of dodo birds are short, these trees are not growing. Then they understood that the trees which were not growing are the seeds of those trees are to be processed through the digestive system of the only dodo birds. Remember? Abba. One forest conservative officer, that IFS person told this story to us, this practical what happened. He told so many things which I forgot all those, about so many, the soil erosion, so much of this, and the insects which they play in sustaining the earth and shape, maintaining shape, so many things he told. Therefore, it is how we should conserve the forest, and then very important, etc., he was telling through slide presentations and all. That means the role of the dodo birds as a jati, they have a role to play in growing some plants, and because of those plants, some people survive on it. It's a link. What is the purpose of humanity in the creation? Who is interested? I am interested in my paratha morning, afternoon roti, dal, sabji, night में जो खाना है खाओ, ATM, debit card, credit card, घर, car, bus. I don't want to think about any of these things. Even if I explain the role of humanity in the cosmos, you will not understand. So I will not tell about it. Because if I tell, you will have again 1,000 more doubts. So I don't have patience to clarify those doubts. But think, what is the role? Like each jati has a role to play. Like a silkworm has a role to play or not? Very good, you know. Honeybees, role to play or not? Huh? You go to Ayurveda doctor, honey में मिला mix करके खाओ. Honey कहाँ से आएगा without honey bee? Each animal, each jati is doing a great service to us, in fact. I think these examples are enough. He says, in that the very purpose of humanity also is hidden. And also I gave description of places of pilgrimage, geography, pilgrimage centers. The centers where there are certain centers in our country or in the world, on the globe, and every country, but we have identified more clearly, more powerfully, that those centers are special vibrating points. Like Dwadasha Jyotirlingas, Ashtadasha Pitas. Those points are such points wherein a high energy is radiated, which uplifts the human consciousness to a greater level of unfoldment. It is not that a stone or linga that is important there. That is only for me point of focus. Otherwise, now Somanath Linga, somebody has taken it away. So that no, but Jyotirlinga is there. Jyotirlinga it is called. The linga of Jyoti, made of Jyotirmayam, not stone mayam. Stone mayam is only for, even Amarnath also, that is only that secret linga is there. That you can see only during such particular season when the ice melts and forms in the form of a, not ice melts, ice falls and forms in the form of a Shivalinga. It's that the design is there behind it. Behind the Shivalinga is there. Outer form is formed there on that design. So that is seen by us. Otherwise the rest of the season also is there, Amarnath. Because it is Amarlinga it is called. Amar mane? Then how can you say it disappears? Pagal hai hum log. Name itself is Amar. That is not seen. So these pilgrim places, geography, everything I told, and also I mentioned in this, the oceans, heavenly cities, Yaksha Kindar, their Nagaras, Sabha Parva will come. We come in Sabha Parva descriptions of those. Kalpas, art of war, different kinds of nations, languages, nature of the manners of the people, and all pervading spirit. All these have been represented in Mahabharata, but Brahmaji, I am very sorry to say, I am not able to find a writer to write this, he said. Stenographer is missing. When Vyasa Bhagavan told Brahmaji, praised Vyasa Bhagavan, he said, Maharaj, you have gained such a wonderful knowledge, and according to me, I consider you as the foremost among all the rishis, and there is no poet like you in the past, there will not be another poet like you in the future also. And he praised Vyasa Bhagavan, and he is told, you do one thing, you call Ganesha ji, and he will write it for you. What did he say? You call Ganesh ji, and he will write entire thing for you. he said. आप अपने गणेश जी को बुलाइएगा. Right. So Brahmaji said this. When Brahmaji said this, immediately Vyasa Bhagavan invoked Ganeshji. And as soon as he invoked Ganeshji, Ganeshji appeared there. Vyasa Bhagavan said, Maharaj ji, मैंने एक compose किया है. I request you to write down. Then, see, Ganesh said, Lekako bharatasya bhavatvam gananayaka bharatasya asya bharatasya tvam he gananayaka lekako bhava. Lekaka bhava. You please become a writer of this. Hey Gananayaka, you become a writer of this. Then he said, Maya eva prochamanasya manasa kalpitasya cha. That which was conceived by me, it is in my mind. And whatever I speak to you, as it is you, write down. Kindly become a writer. There was neither a person, of course, I'm just not equating there. Best stenographer was Ganeshji. And the best dictator was Vyasa Bhagavan. Nowadays, stenographer you appoint, and stenographer feels irritated, impatient he becomes. Because the dictator is so slow that you can't dictate so fast. Stenographer is important only if your power of dictation is so fast. Then you need a stenographer. You dictate like this. Therefore, actually, actually over. I thought, started. Such kind of dictators, they don't need, they can get an LKG student and make them write. Actually, I have been thinking to do this for a long time and it has not been happening, and therefore I request your good self to take this point into account and do something needful as well as possible. Yes, sir. Over. That kind of dictator is required. कहाँ है dictator बताओ अभी अब कोई है क्या ऐसा है? What did I say? What did I say? The stenographer had to read again. पागल है. Tvam bhava gananayako. Bhagavan Ganesh said, then he said, sir, okay, I will become, no problem. Shrutvaitat praha vignesho yadhi me lekhini kshanam likhato na avatishteta tadasyam lekako hyayam. But one thing, you should dictate me without stopping. Even one kshana you take a breathing, I will go, because I can't work for inefficient people. I am an ideal, excellent stenographer. You should match, not only I should match for your standard, you should also match for my standard. Got my point? The management. Not that always manager demands a good subordinate. Subordinate also should demand, I want a very good manager. Hey, you be good manager, then I can work with you. My manager is a nonsense, useless fellow he is. And he wants always a good team under him. Why? He is a fool number one. Na Baba, na. I am a good stenographer. You have to match my standard. Then I can work for you. व्यास भगवान क्या कम खाए क्या? व्यास ने कहा, भगवान ने, व्यासो अपि उवाच तम देवम अबुद्ध्वा माम लिख क्वचित ओम इति युक्त्वा गणेशोपि बभूव किल लेखकः. He said, ठीक है भैया, गणेश जी आप ऐसे लिखिए, मगर without understanding you should not write. अबुद्ध्वा माम लिख क्वचित. You ma likha. Abudhva ma likha. Kvachit. Even a word you should not put without understanding. Ganesh said, Om, meaning, Hari Om, theek hai. Om. Imagine, we have seen that Ganesh Gufa and Vyasa Gufa in Badrinath, Managaon. There only it happened. Ganeshji in this cave, Vyasji in that cave. He was dictating and he was writing here. Both of them want solitude. Wonderful, na? Both the dictator wants solitude and writer also wants solitude. ये होगा क्या? हुआ. What a wonderful one. Great. Then, afterwards, Ganesha, having signified his acceptance, he said, Om, and then started writing. Vyasa Bhagavan began. No, Vyasa Bhagavan has to go for morning japa, tapa, and also he has to little bit of have a look at what he was about to teach. He needs time. So what he did, whenever he wants gap, there he used to dictate such a verse where Vyasa Bhagavan has to scratch his head with the trunk, Apna trunk used to scratch, hit his trunk on the head. ये क्या लिखा हुआ है मुझे अभी? Imagine Ganesh ji, ding, 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 ding. It is said there are 8,800 such verses in Mahabharata. Very critical to understand. The great Mahatmas have identified also that 8,800 verses. 8,800 in this Mahabharata. And Sauti Mahatma says that meaning is so difficult to understand, and he says, Shukadeva understands the meaning of them. Sauti says, I understood the meaning of them. Ugrasrava says, perhaps Sanjaya also understood. He is just expressing doubt. Perhaps Sanjaya also understood this 8,000, meaning of 8,800. They are so deep, the meaning is so deep, even today the meaning remains hidden. Who said? Sauti said. And that is applicable to even today. So difficult the meaning is to untie the knots of those slokas to understand them. 8,000. And Ganesh ji, it seems, used to wait for one moment. एक क्षण के लिए रुकते थे, सोचने के लिए. And one moment he understood the meaning. But he had to stop for one moment. एक क्षण के लिए रुकना. That kshana, Vyasa Bhagavan composed and gathered the further thoughts of dictation, and a couple of verses were ready. Couple of some thousands of verses are ready again. Downloading speed is very high. Not like our internet, you know. My God. Dhabak, ready. Thus, Chautamuni says, he was ready now for the next few thoughts. And what is Mahabharata? Chautamuni says, all the samsaris who are bound in samsara, like all of us, who are blind because we are bound and suffering in the ocean of samsara, for all of us, this Mahabharata is a collyrium. You know collyrium? Anjan. Where it opens our eyes. It opens our eyes. The blind man's eyes are opened like a anjana, like a special lay here, applied, eyes are opened, and as sun dispels the darkness, so also this Mahabharata dispels the darkness which is there in our hearts. And this work, entire Mahabharata, so wonderful. It is excellent things are coming. So joyful it is to read. This Mahabharata is like a tree, and of which the chapter of contents, that's called Sangraha Adhyaya is there in the beginning only. Sangraha Adhyaya, that we also will see, is the seed. Divisions, that is Bhagas are Pauloma and Astika, they are the roots of this Mahabharata. And Sambhava Parva is a trunk. Sabha and Aranya Parva are the birds, nests of the birds. And Arani is called Grantisthala, where the knots are there to be untied, to be understood, to link is formed. And Virata and Udyoga are the Sara Bhagam, or essence of the Mahabharata. And Bhishma Parva is the main branch, and Drona is called its patte, leaves. The Karna Parva, flowers. Shalya Parva is their sweet fragrance. And Stri Parva and Aishika Parva, Sauptika Parva, the refreshing shade. Shanti Parva is its mighty fruit. Ultimate phala is what? As we have seen this thought. Ultimate, what is the phala of Mahabharata? Was Shanti. So Shanti Parva is the fruit, mighty fruit, great fruit of it. And Ashwamedha Parva is Amrutamaya Rasam, because it gives immortality. You perform the Ashwamedha Yajna. And Ashrama Vasika Parva is the spot where one could take rest. Ashrama Vasika. That Shrama will go in Ashrama. In that Ashrama Vasika Parva. And Mausala Parva is nothing but the ends of the portions of the branches, high branches, end. High branches, they end it. They terminate, no, by becoming thinner and thinner. That is, end is called Mausala Parva. And it is said, that is epitome of the Vedas. And these great Mahatmas, the Brahmanas, hurled this Mausala Parva in high esteem. And the tree of this Mahabharata is like an inexhaustible clouds to the mankind. Continuously rains the source of livelihood to all the distinguished poets, and it is for all Kavis, this Mahabharata is like a inexhaustible cloud where it continuously rains the beauty of understanding, unfoldment, etc. Now, Sauti says, I will now speak of this more about Mahabharata and what is it all about, what it contains, more about it, that we will see tomorrow. Slowly we enter into first Parva, and the Adi Parva Prathamodhyaya started, we started. It is called Anukramanika Upaparva. Anukramika Parva. This is where Anukramana is given. The order is given. So wonderful it is. This we can see tomorrow. We will continue this. And when was Vyasa was written? What is the story of it? Main story, little bit in 2-3 minutes. And then how it proceeded. Then how Rishis ask questions, that we will see. Adi Parva. As usual, where it is necessary to go slow, we go slow. Where it is not required, we will go fast. So there is no vrata that Adi Parva will be completed in this 1 week. Impossible. 220 chapters are there nearly, 227 or so. It's not so easy to complete. Okay? Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti